sunny day. It sure is cold. What is going on? Actually, for the drone approval and stuff, I actually had to send in a request near an airport area because I was going to be potentially around like a certain area, and I was thinking, okay, let's just see how it works out. It makes me wonder because it's going to be like literally almost like just an up and down again type of flight. So we'll see how it goes through. It will be fast. I thought it'd be interesting too, where if I do end up going to that area anyways, whether or not that mini would be restricted and whether or not things like this could unlock it, because I need it for the bigger drone, the Pro. So that would be kind of funny if you have to actually go through that whole process as well for this, where technically you should be able to fly it normally as long as you're quote safe and all that. Seems like mostly end of the world type of related news today. I guess the first thing I read though is this one here. How about like a drone crash? It says probe after TV show drone hits sea stack on Lewis. A drone being used for filming a television series struck a sea stack and fell into the sea below, and an investigation has found. The machine was being flown at Magusta on the Isle of Lewis to capture cinematic shots. It drifted sideways and struck a stack, a column of rock rising from the sea, and crashed. It was not recovered. And from what I gathered, there was no issues in terms of things like wind and stuff, so I'm assuming this was just one of those incidents of someone just staring at the screen, I suppose, going, oh, what a great shot, and then the next thing you know, poof, it crashes. It didn't say specifically what drone it was, because it could be one of those that doesn't have things like, I guess, side or back obstacle sensors or anything like that. Again though, it makes me wonder in terms of this and crashing like a drone, whether or not it should be considered as if like a huge manned aircraft actually crashed, so you need to issue all these reports and investigations. Whereas some people would say, like for a racing drone or something with a little over 250 grams, for example, if it crashes, then technically with everything that's structured, you have to report it as if, again, it's like a huge aircraft crashing. Whereas for this, I don't know, to me, it just feels like it's more one of those simple situations. Somebody crashed their drone trying to capture like a scenery. It's not basically carrying passengers or anything like that. So it seems a bit overboard in my opinion to do stuff like that overall. I'm just imagining that for people who fly like those little FPV drones. Every time you crash it, replace a part, you have to submit all these documentations of your maintenance and all that. Again, it's so overboard for those types of usage. And it definitely was a virus news day. It seems like so many sports leagues are canceling now because people were found to have the virus, or they're just doing it out of precaution now. It says here, NBA suspends season after player tests positive for coronavirus. The NBA has suspended its season until further notice after a Utah Jazz player tested positive Wednesday for the coronavirus, a move that came only hours after the majority of the league's owners were leaning towards playing games without fans in the arena. Now there will be no games at all, at least for the time being. A person with knowledge of the situation said the Jazz player who tested positive was the center Rudy Gobert. The person spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because neither the league nor the team confirmed the presumptive positive tests. That's really unprecedented, isn't it? I don't think I've ever heard of a situation where the league's entirely canceled out a situation like this because of like a virus. It says, quote, the NBA is suspending gameplay following the conclusion on tonight's schedule of games until further notice, the league said in a statement sent shortly after 9:30 p.m. Eastern. The NBA will use this hiatus to determine next steps for moving forward in regards to the coronavirus pandemic. Apparently everyone in the arena was very confused as well, I would imagine. Makes me wonder what would happen now with other leagues and all that, or other events in general. Although just recently here, it says apparently the NHL is suspending all games during this season as well now. It's like, holy smokes, this thing is crazy. As it says in the release, it says, NHL statement on coronavirus. League pauses season, hopes to resume play as soon as it is appropriate. National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman on Thursday releasing the following statement regarding the 2019-20 NHL season. In light of the ongoing developments resulting from the coronavirus, and after consulting with medical experts and convening a conference call of the Board of Governors, the National Hockey League is announcing today that it will pause the 2019-20 season beginning with tonight's games. Saying, quote, the NHL has been attempting to follow the mandates of health experts and local authorities while preparing for any possible developments without taking premature or unnecessary measures. However, following last night's news that an NBA player has tested positive for the coronavirus, and given that our leagues share so many facilities and locker rooms, and it now seems that likely some members of the NHL community would test positive at some point. With all this, it kind of makes you wonder how long this thing has actually been going around in general. It's just that with recent events, now people started to test it. So it makes me wonder how many people have this in themselves but are perfectly, I guess, healthy because their bodies can handle it. Well, wouldn't that be something if that was the case too? One thing is, with all this hysteria and stuff with it, man, people are still trying to buy like the toilet papers and stuff. Look at this one that was apparently posted in a store. I guess an employee did it, and it basically, I guess the manager didn't see it. Imagine seeing this right on the shelf. It says, valued customers, due to the recent outbreak of stupidity and panic purchasing by complete idiots, the nation is currently experiencing a shortage of toilet paper and common sense. We expect supplies to be replenished once these sheep-minded morons have all starved to death in their homes surrounded by toilet paper but without anything to eat. Thank you for your patience. How did that even get through? That's crazy. Although it is true in terms of, I don't know why people are buying so much toilet paper in general. Someone brought an interesting point too, where in general, if you're the one that's, I guess, perfectly okay and protected, but everyone else is infected, then technically you're gonna get it too. It's one way to think about it if you're hoarding everything. Are we gonna expect one huge pandemic in North America now? I guess I'm just waiting for the travel bans between Canada and the US next, huh? Although, funny enough, because of all this scare, less people want to travel. Apparently people are taking advantage of it to travel because it's cheaper. Would you actually do that? All right, see you guys later.